All right, everyone. Maybe you have a garbage disposal that sounds a little bit like this. That's not good. We've had this trash compactor probably 15 years since we bought the house. So we're gonna replace it. I looked over the instructions briefly. I've never done this before, but I've definitely worked on plenty of sinks. I think it should be easy. So we're gonna take the old one out. We're gonna put the new one in. Let's see what that involves. You wanna unplug your unit. All right, first up, let's take this, loosen this bar clamp. And then this is just gonna pull off. There we go, got it.
There's some water dripping.
Just a little bit. So I'm just gonna keep it out of the way. You just wanna keep the hose up just so it doesn't drain off. Okay, next up, there's 2 screws. It's also a bolt, so if you have a socket wrench, you can use a socket wrench. I'm just gonna use a screwdriver. This front one you can probably see. Okay, I know it's hard to see, but we got that back one off. That's gonna loosen the drain pipe, right? So you might have to loosen some of these nuts just to get this to swing out. This one I didn't have to. I'm just moving it out of the way. Now I'm gonna loosen this one. Got it. So I'm taking this out because the new unit has a replacement, so we might as well use the new one.
Oh, the unit, it comes with that?
It comes with it.
That's cool.
So now we got to take this garbage disposal out.
It's pretty big, huh?
It's big and it's heavy, so it's usually a good idea to prop it up. I'm just going to hold it. I was going to say, I think this clip just needs to be turned, but this whole unit is turning. It's turning. And that's it. It came out. Now we have to take this, all this has to come off as well.
Oh, really?
So this one, it just has a rubber grommet. I just want to get this out of my way. All right, so this was a bit tricky. I had to recruit some help from my wife, but this may be a pain. So what I ended up doing is I held the drain piece here with my channel locks, and I used my pipe wrench, and I just hooked it on here. Easier said than done. That's it, off.
Get all the dust, the gasket.
And this I'll just push up. We're just gonna clean this up a little bit. You see how there's some old gasket on here. We'll clean this up. I'll use my putty knife and a rag. All right, so we got this out. This is a good reason not to throw your old socks out. My wife saves all her old socks.
And put them under the sink.
Now this one didn't have plumber's putty. It just had a gasket, but it kind of disintegrated. So I'm just going to use the putty knife just to get any stubborn pieces out. Okay, that's good. I'm going to do the same thing underneath. I'll go underneath and I'll clean the underside as well. This unit, you're going to put it, and then these little tabs here will grab underneath. So we turn it, and then that's it. And then it's locked into place. And then to undo it, you just turn it the other way. Okay? All right, I'm just loosening these up. All right, there's the end. So you see this, there's like an O-ring with an opening. This has to come out. See that? Take that piece out. And then this comes out. Okay? All right, so we're just gonna put this washer, grommet, on here. Make sure it's flat. That's the only thing you gotta watch out for. It's not twisted or bundled up. Make sure it's nice and flat. And that's it. You're just gonna drop it in. You know, you wanna line the letters up so it says InSinkErator this way. And you also wanna make sure that it seats properly and you can feel this washer grabbing. This one has a lip, it's perfect. And if your sink doesn't have that, then you're gonna have to use plumber's putty underneath. All right, now per the instructions, what they recommend, which I thought was a good idea, is you're just gonna cover this and you're gonna put this unit on, which is pretty heavy, on top. That's just gonna hold that down so that when we go underneath, I can put all this stuff together. So the first bit is gonna be this fiber gasket. The next is this flange. So once you have your fiber gasket, we're gonna put this one on. So next is this piece, right? We wanna make sure, obviously the screw side is down. And then we have this O-ring. We have to spread this apart and put it on this indentation here, okay? This part could be a little tricky. Okay, got it. Now these I'm just gonna screw them in by hand to get them going. That O-ring is what holds this piece in place. So I'm gonna switch to the screwdriver here. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to each one, and you want these to be pretty tight. Okay, these are all tight. So the next step for this one, we gotta hook up the electrical. There's 3 little slots there. Can you see that? And then you see there's 3 sort of prongs there. So we're just gonna slide it in and then screw it. The first thing we have to do is we have to unscrew this. All right, and so this, we just have to slide that into those connectors, right? It's basically 3 prongs sticking out. You can feel it's in there. And then we'll put the screw back. Okay, that's it. Electrical part is done. So we have to take the plug out of this. So the plug is easy enough. It just pops out, right? Yeah, this is for the dishwasher. So if you don't have a dishwasher, this plug stays in. But they did give us new parts for this. So I'll go ahead, I'll put the washer that came with it. We'll put that in. Yeah, so this goes on here with 2 screws. I had this thing on originally here. I took it off. Yeah, it's definitely tricky. Okay, I think, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time to add the drain back. Just go ahead, slip it in. Make sure you have your nut already on the pipe like it's shown here. And then we're just gonna hand tighten these screws originally just to get them in place. Then go ahead and grab your screwdriver or socket wrench, whatever you're using. And you want these good and snug, but don't over tighten them. There is a washer in there. You don't want to damage the unit. So make sure they're tight, but not too tight. Now we gotta screw this back into the main drain. Hand tight is good. The last bit now is the dishwasher. Now I need my hose clamp, which I took off. So I get the hose clamp back on. Yep, it's on all the way. Now you want to make sure the hose clamp though, I don't know if you can see this, but you see how it's wider here? Mm-hmm. So that's the actual adapter / nipple that it's going onto. Over here is nothing. So you want this hose clamp
Right by the adapter.
over that adapter, that nipple that comes out. The trickiest part about this is the tight quarters. Now this doesn't have to be super tight. In fact, don't over tighten this because you might crack the pipe. So this is on, everything is in.
Now connected.
Now we'll plug it in. So the first thing we want to do is make sure it still works. Okay, so that works. Now the first water test,
You want to make sure it's not leaking.
there's nothing here is under pressure, so unless you cross-threaded it or forgot to tighten it at all, it's typically not going to leak, okay? So we're going to fill the sink up. We don't like to waste water, but you got to test it properly. So what we want to do is you want to fill the sink up at least to this line, but ideally you want to, go a little higher. So this is filled enough.
More than half.
A little more than half. And so my wife can film underneath. All right, I'm gonna pull the plug and we'll make sure there's no leaks. No leaks, and let me run it a second. So when you run it and drain, it'll drain a little faster.
I see some water in the dishwasher line. That's normal?
Yeah, because there's water coming through. That's why you need to leave the plug if you don't have a dishwasher, otherwise it'll just shoot out. Now the final test is we're gonna run the dishwasher, which we'll do now.
What are you doing?
I'm just adding some additional water. So when your dishwasher runs, it typically will drain any water that's sitting first. So I'm just gonna add some. That's good. We're just running it. We're not gonna sit here and wait probably because, listen, you hear that? Let's check it out.
The dishwasher is running.
Yep. So you hear that noise? That's pumping out excess water. You see the hose moving? Mm-hmm. So what it's doing, you see that there's some crap in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, water's moving.
So when I filled it, the first thing it does is knows there's water in there. It pumps all the water out. It's just a quick check to make sure that this pipe up here is not leaking, right? All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Everything looks good. We have the dishwasher running. We already tested that. It used to sound like this. Now it sounds like this.
Right.
So much better, right? Remember, you can do this stuff. Looks challenging, looks tricky, but if you just take your time, do it slowly, read the instructions, anyone can do it.